Hi everyone, Isi here. Welcome to I've Got Questions, Who's Got Answers. My question for today is, are you intentional with your password? Yes, it may look like a funny question, but are you intentional with your password? I remember there was a time where my passwords were of memories that, happened in the past. Happy memories. I had a wonderful childhood. And there was a time I would use the street I grew up in, Eniola Street, as my password. I remember that during that period when I was using Eniola with all the special characters, I would go to bed, I would sleep, and I would have dreams of myself in Eniola Street. This is in Surulere, Lagos, Nigeria. So the first time it happened, I ignored it. I was like, oh, maybe, because I've used this as a password. And then it happened the second time. And in this dream, I'm just wandering along the streets and I felt a bit uncomfortable. It didn't feel right. It didn't sit well with me. Again, I ignored it. And then it happened the third time. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't want to be in Eniola Street. Again, I had a wonderful childhood, but why am I going back to Eniola Street? Why am I not going forward? When I had the dream, I think the third, fourth time, I changed that password. I just thought to myself, if I can use Eniola Street as my password and I'm seeing myself in Eniola Street, where do I want to see myself? I love traveling, so I wrote down a list of countries I would love to go to and I put it on my notice board in the office. I work from home. I remember when I stopped using Eniola, I started using Paris with all the special characters. So I'm not giving anything away. I started using Paris. Sometimes you're working, you just want to take a break from what you're doing. And I'll start checking up fun things to do in Paris. Where should I go to? Where should we visit? That year, we traveled to Paris as a family. It was not in the plan. But when holiday discussion came up, I was like, oh, let's try Paris. That one action made me realize that there is power in repetition, because in my office, and I'm sure it happens for most people, if you're not on the system for like 5 minutes, it logs you out. So you have to retype in your password. And then even if you want to step away from your desk, say to make a cup of tea or to use the toilet, you have to close down your computer so that they don't see what's happening, and then you have to log back in. So you're typing in your password constantly. So that Eniola incident taught me something. There is power in repetition, and what we type in every day, what we see every day, regardless of work, play, there is power in repetition. So right now, I don't use countries. Of course, I would still love to travel. I still have my travel list. But now that I know there is something about even the password you use, I am now more intentional. So now I use affirmations. If you know me, I'm Madam Affirmation. I love my affirmations. I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm a Jesus girl. So yes, I have used so many affirmations. I'm the woman God has showed great mercy. Yes, it may be long, but I will type it. So let's see what research says on the power of repetition. Scientists say our brain changes when we repeat things a lot, like practicing a sport or a song. About half of what we do every day is habit, meaning our brain does it automatically because we've done it so many times. Repeating positive words can make us feel happier, calmer, and more confident over time. Our password is something we repeat every day, so it's a perfect place to put a positive message. Every day we type a little secret, a password, a tiny sentence we say with our fingers. And guess what? Our brain listens every single time. When we repeat something, our brain starts to believe it. It's like drawing the same line over and over until it becomes a path. So why type I am bad at this 1, 2, 3 when you can type I can do all things 4, 5, 6? If you say strong words, you start to feel strong. If you say kind words, you start to feel kind. If you say good things, your brain grows good thoughts. A password is not just for logging in, it's a message we send to ourselves every day. Make it a good one. Sometimes that's just a boost. I need to get me through the day. Sometimes some days are hard in the office. You're coming back from your lunch break. You don't know what you're going to face. You don't know how to respond to an email. And then you just type in, I am the woman God has showed great mercy. My cup runneth over. Elroy. And that just gives me the boost to continue through the day. So I am super intentional about my passwords. And I just wanted to get your views. Are you intentional with your passwords? Ignore Muna, he's trying to come out. Are you intentional with your passwords? Have you had any experiences where your password has actually affected your reality? Because it's interesting how something you're doing every day can play in your subconscious when you're sleeping. Like I said, I'm a very spiritual person. So are you intentional with your password? If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. I would like to get your opinions and take to my questions. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. Today is a good day.